with Falcon hockey coach Steve Freeman. And Steve, last weekend the Falcons had played two tough games against two strong WIAC teams. Here at Hunt Arena, lost 5-2 to Stevens Point, and at Eau Claire had a close game, a 3-2 loss there. We were watching a little bit of the stuff from the Eau Claire game. Your thoughts about those two games?
Well, Jim, Friday night against Stevens Point, obviously a real high-powered offensive team, and I thought we played the way we needed to play early on in the game. I think after two periods, the shots were 17-16, and then they came down early in the third and got a kind of a bad goal, a long shot from just inside the blue line, and it seemed like we dipped a little bit, and we got a little bit panicky when we were behind, and a few guys, jumped out of position, and they took advantage of that and scored a couple quick goals, bang, bang, and we were down, and then we were able to come back and score that third goal. But it was a tough game emotionally because obviously it was for the WIAC title, and I think that honestly that had a direct effect on us the next night going over to Eau Claire. I don't think we were able to shake that off quite as well as we would like to, and without making too many excuses, obviously we had to come back off that game and play the next night on the road, and the schedule wasn't very kind to us as Eau Claire had the night off and they were fresh, and they got to play at home again on Saturday night. So the Eau Claire game was, I thought to myself after two periods, boy, these teams are about dead even, the way the game was going up and down and things like that. But they scored two shorthanded goals when we were on the power play, and that's like a 2-4 goal swing, and that just absolutely killed us. And we played a little looser defensively, but Tanner bailed us out like he has done many times this year. But we were certainly in position to win the game, but when we needed to, we didn't have the energy at the end of the game that we needed to push ourselves through, and we couldn't get that last goal to tie it up. So it was a tough 3-2 loss, but we know what to expect from Eau Claire this weekend, and we'll see how that plays out. But these guys have played well all year, and they've been able to respond, and hopefully we can play our best and see how it plays out then.
Let's talk about that Eau Claire series coming up. Now it's the playoffs, kind of a lose and you're done, season's over with type of thing. Steve, your thoughts going into it?
It was nice in a way to play them the last game of the season because we know what to expect, and we're ready for it. We had a good week of practice. They caught us off guard a little bit on their penalty kill, the way they came at us with their penalty kill, and we had a tough time adjusting to that. We had a lot of power plays and weren't able to create much. I think we were 1 for 9 on the power play, and our power play has been great all year, and that was really the difference in the game. And then we gave up the 2 shorthanded goals on top of it, so we kind of killed ourselves a little bit. So hopefully we made some adjustments that'll help on our special teams a little bit. We're fairly healthy. I think everybody's enthusiastic, and it all starts now. This is what you remember at the end of the season, playoff games, and it like I said, it's 2 real evenly matched teams, and with a lot on the line. So it'll be a pretty dramatic series, and it's funny with the mini-game format where you win Friday night and it feels good, but it doesn't mean a lot. You got to win again Saturday night, or you got to win the mini-game. So either way, win or lose, you still have a whole heck of a lot to play for on Saturday night, and it's there's been some, over the last few years, there's been some real dramatic games. And, this week we talked about last year. We were the number 1 seed, and Superior was the last place team, came into our building, and bang, they surprised us and knocked us out of the playoffs right away. So hopefully this year, I think we're a little bit of the underdog going on the road over to Eau Claire, and I hope we can, play our best hockey, and things will take care of themselves.
Talking again about that mini game, Steve. I mean, we've all seen that just what you said. The team will win, and then the other team will win that second game. It's kind of like that momentum stays with that team then. So, I mean, how do you combat that, or do you use that? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, what we've tried to do for many years is, and it seems pretty simple, but we make sure that we got dry T-shirts and dry socks, and bring the team in. You can change your roster in between periods, and just approach it as a brand new game, and try it. Hey, we lost that game. We got another chance. This is a brand new hockey game for us. So put on the dry stuff and get ready to go. And you don't make many adjustments, and very few teams even change your lineup, even though you can. You usually come back with it. But you know there's some, just like you said, there's those momentum swings. And a couple of years ago over at Stevens Point, they beat us 2-1 the first night, and then we were able to beat them, I think 4-1 or something the second night, and went into the mini game and we beat them 3-1 in the mini game. And they had a really good team when we were on the road over there. But just like you said, we had the momentum, and they thought, they won the first game and they weren't able to carry that emotion over to the second game, where we knew our back was against the wall. We had to win, and that carried over. So it's an interesting phenomenon, trying to figure it out between periods and get the guys ready. But again, we just approach it as a brand new hockey game.
Steve, looking back at last week, Christian George was named the team's player of the week. He scored a power play goal in both of those games. Could you talk about Christian's play a little bit?
Well, he's been just outstanding for us all year. I mean, he's a terrific 200-foot player, and by that I mean, he plays hard defensively in our end, and he doesn't take off any shifts, and he scores goals, and he sets up goals, and he kills penalties, and he's on our power play. And you look at him, and he's 5'8" and 140 pounds, and you think, boy, he'll snap in half. But he's tough, and he hits, and he does everything that you could ask a hockey player to do. And he's been probably our best player all year, and he dealt with that injury where he had that skate cut right above his knee, and he missed quite a few games there. But he's been a point-a-game guy since, and he's if you could get 10 more of those guys, you'd never lose. But just a blood and guts hockey player.
Steve, thanks for your time. Good luck to the Falcons, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, Jim.